Hey guys, and we're the Fitness Fires, and this is our van tour.
This content is sponsored by Outdoorsy. Through Outdoorsy, you can rent your camper van out to make extra cash, and you can rent a van to try van life before you commit.
So our van is the 2011 Renault Master. It's a long wheelbase with 265,000 kilometers.
It took us over a year to convert this van, but we did it all by ourselves. We spent 4 weeks in our van touring around Ireland, and now we've moved to Spain where it's sunny almost every day.
The reason we chose the Renault Master was because I'm 6'2" and I wanted to be able to stand up the whole way. That was so important. Another reason was spare parts are a little bit easier to get for this van, so if we ever need them, we should be okay.
This was where the bulkhead was. It's a requirement in Ireland to remove the bulkhead because you need a clear walkway from the back of the van into the front. So what we did was we got this beautiful rug. I sewed black outlining onto the back of the rug, and we put industrial Velcro all the way around onto the van, so we can easily remove it whenever we want. This seat here drops forward, and now we can jump in and out of the cab if we have to make a quick getaway. So above the cab is where we keep our duvet and our pillows. It's a great space for it, and it also helps keep the heat out during the day. We've installed these really handy little hooks here into the bulkhead, and they're great for hanging clothes or hats. It's great.
So once you walk into the van, you're greeted with this lovely wall, and it serves a few purposes. It's the side of our wardrobe. It also has our lovely mirror, our security camera, our carbon monoxide alarm, our coat hangers, aka doggy tails, lovely signs, more mirrors, light switches, and a pop-up table. Perfect for extra storage when you're cooking. At the very bottom of the wardrobe, we have something that's really important for everyone in van life, our diesel heater. This is where the cold air goes in, and this is where the lovely hot air comes out. This is a perfect space to host this because we can put our towels up in the corner, dry them all. Jenny's dried her hair here, and it makes the van so toasty in just a couple of minutes.
So for cooling our van, we've installed a fan at the front of the van and a vent at the back. This is great because cool air comes in and hot air comes out. And if that's not enough, on really hot days, we have our cordless fan, which is unbelievable. It's great because we've got 2 battery packs and we can charge them from the solar panels into our batteries, which are based under the seats. So the fan and the vent are great for bringing extra light into the van. However, it can be a bit of a problem when you're trying to get a really good night's sleep. So I've made some homemade blackout blinds on Velcro, which do the job great. So this is our kitchen countertop. We have a 2-ring gas hob, which is just perfect for us. Our beautiful kettle from IKEA. The countertop is 18mm plywood, which we have varnished and covered with this heat resistance covering. It's amazing, it's so cheap. You can get it in any hardware shop. Our sink is actually a mixing bowl from IKEA, and we have a pump tap, which saves so much water and is just perfect for us. So for above our kitchen, we've built these amazing cabinets, if I may say so myself. It was mostly Dean. But here we have everything from our coffee, our tea, our coffee pot, all of our kitchen plates and bowls. It's perfect. And even when we're driving, it just doesn't move around much. We expected it to move so much more, but it's perfect. So we also have our fire extinguisher and our fire blanket, which is securely fastened here. It's very important.
What's the other thing there?
This is what we call Murder Ball. It's a great game, guys. We spend hours playing this. These are our hanging nets, which are brilliant for holding your fruit and veg. They're from IKEA, so cheap again. Our beautiful little flower pots from IKEA, which I've upgraded by putting some copper foil and some reggae bracelets on a bit of Velcro, and voila, doesn't move when you drive.
So for our gas system in the van, we had a couple of options. We could use the single pay-as-you-go bottles, which are pretty cheap up front, but then over the long run they get pretty expensive. So we went with refillable LPG gas. This was much more expensive on the way up. It was about £280, but it only costs about €12 for 3 months worth of usage. So as we go on the van, it will pay for itself. In order to have the LPG tank in the van, we had to have a sealed gas locker. This was one of the more tricky parts of the van build, and it needs to have a drop vent to allow any potential gas to drop through the van. There's also a fill point on the outside of the van, which means we never have LPG inside the van. So as Jenny mentioned, there's a lot of different options you can have with sinks when you convert a van, and we found the easiest, cheapest one, totally by accident, was a mix and bowl from IKEA. All we did was get a hole in the bottom, get a jigsaw and cut around until we had something big enough to fit the waste trap in, and then we sealed it up with some silicone. That, along with our pump tap, allows us to save a lot of water, which our 25 litre water tanks last maybe 4 days, 5 days, which is a lot more than if you had a motor on a tap, because you waste so much more water. And as we know, in the van, when you've got something off grid, you need to be as frugal as possible with everything you have. We have one 25 litre clean water which goes up the pipe here. It comes out of our tap when we push, and the waste goes down through the white one into a grey waste. All we need to do to fill this up is simply remove the 2 tubes, bring them to a fill point and start all over again.
So this press is where we keep all our cutlery and some sauces. We have little baskets in here. Dean has so cleverly put little pieces of wood nailed to the shelf, which stops them moving when the van is driving. It works great. We keep all of our sauces and our oils, and here in this handy basket we keep all of our pots and pans. It doesn't move when we're driving. It's great. Again, more handy hooks. Guys, you can't have enough handy hooks in the van. So you know the way in every house there's one of those drawers that just has a load of junk? This is our drawer in the van. It's the press above the gas, and it holds our laundry octopus. Just a load of miscellaneous items. I won't go through them. And how do we cover up this junk press? With this cool IKEA little boxes. They simply hook on, and we use this for keeping our lighters for the gas, some wipes, some mouthwash, some other random items, and our toothbrushes.
One of our favourite parts of the kitchen, and probably the whole van, is the Vitrifrigo fridge that we have. It's a 12-volt fridge. It keeps everything nice and cool, and it's amazing. Have a look. It also has an ice compartment which keeps our drinks super cold. As you can see, we're pretty hungry today because it's shopping day. The fridge is empty. It's never this empty, so it's a little bit embarrassing. Guarding our fridge is our superhero Bob Marley. He stays on the fridge and makes sure that we're not eating too many snacks and getting too overweight on our trip. So 2 little bits beside the kitchen that we love are Jenny's parrot and my ukulele. It's so important to have something creative in the van for me. So we've managed to get a little hook here and also some Velcro. The Velcro on the bottom keeps the ukulele attached when we're driving, so there's no need to keep taking it off and putting it back on.
Above our fridge, we have another storage unit. Another basket that we make great use of. One thing that's very important for having in the van is incense. You don't want candles really, because there's too much wood, too many things can go on fire. So the best thing for combating smells from either cooking or smells in general is incense.
So we've shown you the front wall of the wardrobe. We're going to show you where the actual storage is inside the wardrobe. In the top drawer, we store things like our drone, our underwear, all in baskets. Again, it's the same with the next one down. The bottom one is where we store the rest of that storage box. We have 3 different presses and it's built on top of a shelf. We store things like protein bars, chocolate bars, sauces, any more condiments that we don't fit inside the kitchen. So because the storage boxes are built on a shelf, we have some storage underneath which we use for our shoes and any toilet rolls, extra ones that we have stored in the van. We also have our diesel heater at the bottom of this shelf and our fuel tank right here.
In our little secret compartment under the seats is where we keep all our tinned goods and some extra treats and snacks. Dean has installed magnets on this door to keep them in place while driving.
The other side of the wardrobe has our control panels and all the electrical systems that we have in the van. This will show the battery charge that we currently have. This is how we turn the diesel heater on and off at night time, and we have 2 USB slots right here. We also have a dimmer switch for lights that go all around the van. There's also some more nice mirrors that Jenny installed, and there's an Irish blessing underneath just to remind us of home. As Jenny mentioned, for a good night's sleep we need to have complete darkness. So these lights can be very irritating during the night, so she used her sewing skills to make some custom covers. So with the van we had a lot of different options to build for the bed and the sofas, and we decided to go with a U-shaped sofa. The reason we decided to go for a U-shaped sofa was it gives us so much room, and it also folds into a bed. The bed is super comfy and it folds into a 6 foot by 5 foot full-size bed with a 5-inch memory foam mattress. Super comfy. When we ordered the memory foam by itself, we had to get some covers. Jenny and her mum worked really hard to make these custom covers for our mattresses, and they're holding up so well. They look great in the van.
So another reason why we went for the U-shaped sofa is because we get so much storage underneath it.
One of the later additions we did to the van just before we started this Spain trip was to add some hydraulic arms onto our bench. This allows the bench to fold up and stay up, as opposed to what we had to do before, where that would be like leaning against the van, holding this up and trying to pull stuff out was a pain. So we're so happy we did this. The gas and the electricity in the van were the 2 biggest hurdles we found. We have 2 100 watt solar panels on the roof, and it goes into 2 110 amp hour batteries. We also have a 300 watt inverter for our 240 volt plug. Most things we own can be charged from the USBs, which is really handy, but we do need the inverter to make the 240 volt socket for our laptops and the portable fan that Jenny showed you earlier. As well as the panel I showed you beside the wardrobe, we also have another 2 lights here, and we have 2 more USB slots.
So our beautiful table is all handmade. It's 18mm plywood that we varnished. So we've already shown you the sofa by day. Now we're going to show you the bed by night. It takes us approximately 5 minutes to set up the bed every night, which is fine for us. We do prefer having so much walking space within the van during the day, so the collapsible bed is perfect for us. So we love it when the van's so cozy at night. So we've got loads of fairy lights around the van and electric candles. These are great. The van is so cozy when all the lights are off, but we just have the little lights on. So when we're in the van and want to be really stealthy, or at night time when we're going to bed, we've handmade blinds that we made. We've basically covered reflectives with the same covering as our bed sheets. We have thermal blackout lining in between these 2 layers, and I've put the Velcro all the way around the edges of the van. Under this seat is where we keep our toilet. However, we do tend to keep the toilet out in the main part of the van because, well, we drink a lot of water. So we've also got our kitchen blind, which matches our kitchen countertop. It's the same covering and it's lined with blackout fabric and Reflectix.
Security in the van is something that we're a little bit concerned about, so we've done everything we can to make the van as safe as possible. So any window or door in the van has an additional alarm. Any movement on our doors when they're set and the alarms will go off, alerting anyone around. Having CCTV inside our van is also really important for us, because it means whenever we go for a walk or a hike, we can use our phone to actively look and make sure the van is okay, no one's come in and everything is fine. We get notifications if there's any movement inside our van while we're gone. We also wanted to make sure our van is very stealth, and that means that nobody will know that it's a camper van if they walk by it. So we kept the front exactly like any other normal van. You can see behind me the bulkhead replacement of the curtain, which looks like there's a wall there. We have no air conditioning or no cruise control, but that's all part of the crack. Our van is called Mastersaurus Rex, so we have our little captain up the front making sure we're safe. Right above our heads is storage that we use for books, sunglasses and anything else we want to keep in the front of the van. We've also installed a deadlock on the back doors for extra security. This can be taken off with a different key. In the back of the van we have our gym. We've got boxing gloves, we've got yoga mats, we've got dumbbells which we'll show you in a second, and some skipping ropes. All of this storage is on a pulley system, which is a bit manual, but it works. Along with workout gear, we have managed to put in camping tables, camping chair, a slack line, a portable shower, some dumbbells, a kayak. There really is so much storage underneath here.
So just a quick note on showering, guys. We actually use this pop-up portable tent. It is perfect. We use our pressure shower, which is amazing, and we stand in this and wash ourselves. It's great for keeping the wind and cold off you when you're showering outside.
Living in such a tiny home, we know that extra space is so important. So we've included this awning rail, and we have a pop-up awning that comes right across the van and gives us so much extra space.
So guys, that's the end of our van tour. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it if you could like and share this video. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us along in our adventures in Spain. If you've any questions at all about the van or the van build, please pop them in the comment section below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. See you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.